Hi. I didn't expect to start it so fast, but let's just get started actually. So, this is an expansion upon the first video that I posted, which was talking about 12 years before the liminal space, the 400-year liminal space ends. Okay, you guys, I've been trying to watch that video again because I don't remember what I said in that video. So I was trying to watch it again just to refresh my mind and learn. Um, and this morning I woke up with a lot of energy, like a lot of receiving. And I tried to make notes of some things, but I think it was just, it was just being put into me. But anyways, okay, so I'm going to try and explain this the best way that I can before I start shuffling any cards or anything. And I'm just going to tell you what I've been thinking of since I started watching that video. First of all, I think we all know that timing is complicated when it comes to history because people write history, right? It's not like we get like an on Akashic Records version of history where it has to be true. We get the people's version. We get whatever people choose to write, whatever the systems in place choose to write down, which means that dates and order, it's not guaranteed that it's true, okay? Or it's not guaranteed that it's not missing information. And what I think is happening here is that chunks of history have literally been pulled out and thrown out the window, and we are missing like hundreds of years of gaps in between, and it's making the timeline super confusing about understanding exactly where things started and began. How I feel is that we might be missing anywhere between 200 to 400 years of history from like from some point around like the 15th century until now. And then beyond that, I don't know, there could be more, but that's just where my brain is focusing right now. It feels like there is either 200 or 400 years missing. Now, what I want to say is, this is what I feel right now. It's just what I feel right now. So it's not fully developed. I'm just starting to understand the information that Spirit's giving me. Okay, so things could change. Please remember that things could change. These are developing understandings that I'm receiving. Um, and I'm human, so okay, sorry, it's just scary. Anyways, so what I feel is that slavery, like the transatlantic slave trade, which involved Black people, began like 200 years earlier than what was said. Um, than what was said. When you look online, it looks as if slavery was only 200 years, but we've always heard 400 years, right? We've always heard 400 years. It looks like it was 200 when you look online. They're like, it started in 16 something, it ended in 18 something. And that's what they say online. Now, a lot of us don't trust that. And I've always heard 400 years of slavery. Anyways, I wonder because when it comes to being a good liar, you don't change things in profound ways. You keep you keep a certain level of consistency with the truth, and then you take things out. And then you also mess up things to make sure that you're messing up the consciousness or the psyche of an individual that's connected to this history, right? So being enslaved for 400 years versus 200 years is a very different experience. It's a very different timeline. That also says a lot about who our ancestors were, how long it took them to organize, how long it took them to overthrow. If it didn't take 400 years to overthrow slavery, and it actually took 200 years, that's a very different understanding of our political power and our finesse and our warrior energy than we've been told. Now, I'm just trying to understand this energy. I'm not saying for sure that it did take 200 years and not 400. I'm just exploring, okay? So, what I'm thinking right now is that it actually began sometime in the 1400s, which I think other people might agree with. sometime in the 1400s. Then I actually am wondering if by the 1600s, and the 1400s was when the Industrial Revolution really began. And I think that when we say industrial, what I'm meaning in this context was that we began to use people as machines. I mean, we're using people as machines before then, but we began to understand what a machine could be through the context of a person. And I think that Black people really embody the energy of technology. There's something very technical. There's something very technology based about Blackness, and especially about the way that we work. There's a system, there's a function, there's something very intelligent that goes beyond what we can understand about Black people and the way that they work. So I think that the first concept of machinery really began to be understood through watching Black people work, because of the way that they do things. It made sense, and it tapped into an intelligence that was like, whoa. And it began to open up your mind about what else could exist, about the idea that this could be replicated, because Black people have strong creation energy, which means what they do can be manifested and brought into fruition and created. So if you watch Black people work and you get this sense of a machine, of a mechanism, of a system, then you start to think, okay, maybe that's something that could actually be created. So maybe that was actually the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, but it was more philosophical. Anyways, so yeah, I want to say that maybe it actually began in the 1400s or sometime around the 15th century. Then, what if it took 200 years? So 200 years of enslavement, more or less, give or take. 200 years after, what if Black people had rebelled? What if they had shut down the system much sooner than before any law had to be passed, before anything had to happen? What if Black people took down the system on their own? How would that change our sense of history? How would that change our understanding of who we are and of our ancestors? Okay? I'm not saying it has to be this way. I'm just asking questions. So yeah, that happened in 16 something, the end, which is funny because that's where they say it began. Then, what if for that next 200 years, there was active involvement in politics, in the system, in building up this world, engaging? What if there was active involvement in academia? How many renaissances were happening at that time? We had the scientific revolution going on. We had music. We had art. We had all these innovations. We had the Industrial Revolution coming up. All of that was happening while Black people were enslaved? I don't think so. Sounds to me like that kind of innovation could only be happening if Black people were out being able to spend their energy and their time doing other things beyond working in a goddamn field, okay? Out of force. There's nothing wrong with working the earth. Working the earth is one of our purposes. But out of force, no. Hold on. I just need to look up some dates. Yeah, you guys, I don't know. I don't know. I'm so scared to say things like this because it's just like, but what if a lot of these philosophers were Black? Or just what if the information that we're receiving is not whole? What if something's missing? What if the dates have been shifted and moved? Okay, what if? Just like, let's look into what if. So that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that there is like a 200, okay, so right. We're engaged in academia, in sciences, in math, in mechanisms, in building. All these creations we're engaged in. 18 something comes around. Now, what if we begin to take some steps back? Now, what if the amount of power and involvement that's happening begins to feel threatening? And what if things begin to be rolled back? What if a lot more of us were engaged than what they say? Because I know that they talk about how Black people were involved in government and politics. So what if the people that they talk about today are just the people who were allowed to stay around, or the ones they allowed to stick around? And then what if everything else they just, sweeped out, shut out of history, and then started to create laws and all these things to be like, to put you back into the position of the laborer after they had already gained all of your ideas and your creations. Now you can go be a sharecropper and back to all these things. Like, I don't know. I don't know. And I also imagine that not everybody was, gained freedom around the same time, because I wonder if there was also this sense of like to be able to receive freedom has a lot to also do with confidence and with confidence and self-love. And after having to heal from a period of enslavement, that takes a long time, and we all enter those phases at different points. So some people might have still been enslaved, but not. What if? Okay, anyways, I want to talk to Spirit because I just feel scared saying any of this. So I just want to talk to Spirit. Okay, Spirit, so will you talk to me? What am I talking about? Is there any truth to what I'm saying? Oh, that's the Page of Wands. I just feel like Black people found freedom for themselves a lot sooner than we've been told. And then things were rolled back, and things were taken away, and things got messy, and things got confusing. And I almost feel like we were put into this stalling space because Black people were progressing too quickly. So that 400-year liminal space that I talked about in that last reading, I think that was brought about because Black people were progressing too quickly. It's like we overtook slavery and immediately began living life. We didn't, I wonder if the transition period was really quick, and I wonder if the world wasn't prepared for that. And so they put us into this stalling period of 400 years where you're kept in a cycle through laws, through spells, through all these random things. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, hold on. It just feels like there were so many awakenings, and it feels like there was a purifying energy in the spirit of Black people that was just like ransacking any type of destruction that tried to come their way. There's just this really powerful and prominent white light energy, which in this sense feels very protective and purifying. And I feel like Black people were recognizing each other and seeing each other and seeing our shared consciousness. Like, I think that there was a spiritual awakening around the time that maybe around this 200-year mark before, and it just created rapid progression in many, many, many people, not in a small majority, in a large majority, and not in a minority, in a large majority. The masses were waking up, and I think that it was terrifying. And so I feel like all of this fucking magic was worked. Because I don't know how else you would stop this. This isn't something you can stop with laws. To me, this is not something you can stop with laws. This is something that you stop with magic and weapons. Oh my gosh. I just wish I had the answers so clearly written out. Let's look into the Akasha. Okay. Spirit, can you please direct me to the Akashic records? I want to read I want to read, okay. I want to read exactly what the Akashic records have, because they can't lie. What are the Akashic records saying? I think there was some type of awakening. I almost feel like the gods, I feel like there was support from the gods. Let me tell you, I feel like we've been lied to. I feel like we've really been lied to. I think that there was help from the gods. I think that there was help from the goddesses, from deities. I think that there is spiritual help. And I think that there was a mass awakening. And I also think that white people were a lot more reliant and in a position of begging and in a position of please and help us than they like to come across, than it comes across. Like, yes, they were abusive, and yes, they were slave masters and all these things and horrible, and they had all these weapons and they were violent, all these things. But I also don't think that they talk enough about how fearful they were and how much they were begging on their knees for us to stick around, for us to help them. They act like everything was a favor, and then when it was done, they were like, get out. But I feel like there was this energy of like, please. And I think that there was this frustration energy amongst white people and anger amongst them for the way that they could not control us, could not control our spirits. There was this dominance that they would try to have over our spirits that was just not possible. And I think that it was incredibly infuriating to not be able to understand why we were able to move the way we were, why we were able to keep our light and our life force energy the way we were. And there was such a desire to be with us, to be amongst us, to learn from us, to be beside us. And because that was not allowed, because they would not allow themselves, I think that they began to like, I don't know what's wrong with them. But yeah, it's like they were trying to see what we could see, but they couldn't see it. And that, I feel like, pissed them off. Like they didn't have the vision. They weren't being given visions in the same way that Black people were. And so, yeah, all these nations and all of these creations and all of these ideas were being created by, and I don't want to take credit away from other groups or cultures, but I'm just specifically talking about Black people right now, and then maybe other people will come in. But all of these ideas were being formulated by Black people, and it was Black people that were beginning to build the new world. And they didn't like that, because it's like, no, this is our world. These are our creations. So I think that was very infuriating. And I think that began to shift the energy. And I also think that there's just a sense of emptiness. There's a sense of emptiness in a lot of spirits. I don't want to say what I'm thinking. I simply just don't. I just don't. So, I won't. But, ooh, yikes. Let's move on. This deck is a little too real. It's the Orisha Tarot, so. But it's just a little too real. We don't have time to be doing all that. That's a bit much. Okay, Spirit, what's the point? What's the point? No. Okay, let me continue to look at the Akasha. 5. Yeah, I almost feel like, to be honest, bro, I almost feel like we were shifted. Like, I feel like they had the only way we are where we are right now compared to where we were. They talk about where we've been getting dumber since the ancient times. No. We were continuing to grow. We were continuing to expand upon our ancient energy. Nobody was getting dumber. We were only growing in our intelligence. Then something happened. And it shifted our world completely. I almost feel like we were taken to the underworld. I feel like we are not where we were. I feel like 600 years ago, what the earth was, I feel like we've been switched. Like, I want to say that they switched the global timeline. They shifted the global world. Like, we are not, like, we're in a parallel universe. We are in the upside down. We are in the underground, the underworld. Like, we are in the underworld. Like, I don't feel like we are where we actually are, because I feel like there's something above us or below us. I don't know, something else. And we've been put into this like liminal space, and they know that we can't be contained within this space forever, but there is a containment that's happened for the past 400 years that's really, really like, crushes your spirit into a smaller vessel, and it forces you to only be able to exist in like this one sense of the way. So we've been trying to grow and evolve ourselves out of this really tight, bound up energy, when this is really who we are. We're trying to grow ourselves spiritually and wake ourselves up in this type of energy, when this is really where we are. I don't know, you guys. I feel like they put us in some type of prison. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I was starting to think maybe slavery ends in 2035. Maybe that's when this bitch is gonna crack wide open. Maybe that's when we're going to shift back to where we were supposed to be. I feel crazy. I feel like I sound like a crazy person. But I don't know. That's what I'm feeling. And I just asked Spirit to take me to the Akashic. So this is what the Akashic records are telling us. I'm not lying to you. That's how I feel, okay? I wouldn't lie to you guys. I really feel that way. Whether this is true or not, I don't know. I'm just a human being. This is just what I feel, though. This is just what I feel. And this is what I'm reading. Okay, tell us more, Akasha. Tell us exactly what we need to know. Exactly what we need to know right now. I feel like our spirits are coming in, maybe in this form of like white light, or what we perceive to be white light, and getting our ass out of this place. That's why the light bodies, that's why all the shadow, I remember I've been talking about light shadows, all these light shadows I've been seeing. They're coming. I think they're coming. The Knight of Swords, the Star, the Ace. I feel like something is coming. There's a new coming. There's also like, this is ancient energy that is coming. And that's why I've also been talking about religion so much recently, because there is a religious energy in the air, but not the systemic religions that we have right now. These little fakes and phonies. Not that. There's like because religious energy is a real thing, and it's more heavily tied to magic and esoteric energy than it is to just like spirituality is just everything, from what I understand. And then religion is like, it's like magic. And there's a magical energy in the air. There's a religious energy in the air. So that's what I mean when I say religious. I mean like magical. I mean like even like theoretical, philosophical. All of those things I connect to when I say religion. So I don't mean like Christianity or like any other religion. I just mean like magic. It's a way to process, a specific way to process and output spirituality in a way that's heavily powerful. So there's that kind of energy in the air, and there is some type of abundance connected to that energy. There's an abundant magical energy. I also am telling you guys, I've mentioned this before, I think that there are kids that are going to be born in these next few years that are carrying this magical energy within them, and they're gonna be fucking crazy. And I think it's gonna be fabulous. I think they're gonna be freaking amazing. I also feel like you're getting picked up. Like I feel like you're being scouted and you're being seen by your spirit, by your spirit. Like I feel like the world is about to become a lot more, not congested in a bad way, but like if you thought that the energy was, if you thought there was a lot of energy on Earth before, you're about to feel like there's a shit ton of energy. And that's because there's going to be a lot of spirits coming in, because our reinforcements are coming in to break us out. And what I feel is that there is going to be a lot of spirits coming onto Earth in these next few years that are going to undeniably wake everybody up, because like everybody's going to realize you're an empath, because everybody's going to be feeling them. Everybody's going to be seeing something. I'm seeing things. Yeah. Feeling things, hearing things. We're talking about mental health now. Everybody's going to be thinking they're crazy, because everybody's going to be sensing spirits. Everybody's going to suddenly become, be like, I'm a witch, I have these gifts. And then you're going to realize, oh shit, we are all this way. Because there's going to be so many spirits here. And these spirits are here for a reason. They're here to get us together. They're here to help. They're here to guide. They're here to transform. Like, y'all, I feel like it's like this can't be stopped. This is energy that can't be stopped. This is energy that can't be stopped. Like, I feel like they're coming in but like, there's no way for you to stop this energy. And you know what? They did it to themselves. The system did it to themselves, because I also feel like one of the ways that all this energy is able to come in right now is because of what's happening with climate change, with like our layers being broken down, right? Like our ozone, like our layers above the atmosphere being broken down. I feel like a bunch of spirits are diving in through these gaps. It's a lot quicker. It's a lot easier to come into Earth. Otherwise, you would have to be born. You would have to be born into Earth or you'd have to be channeled. But now they're just freely coming in, which, can be scary, because any spirit can come in, but a lot of our friends are coming down here to help us. That's just how I feel. That's how I feel. That's just how I feel. And I feel like it's like there's nothing you can do to stop it. That's how I feel. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Like it just simply is happening. It's happening, and you accept it or you don't. It doesn't matter. Like whether I give this reading or not, it's happening. That's how I feel. Okay, what else, Akasha? And the Akashic records don't lie. She has no reason to lie. She can't lie. Why would she lie? What? Something's burning. What else is happening, Akasha? What else do you want us to know right now? King of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. My nose is overwhelmed. I just heard something about showing your teeth, but that might be a side project. Ooh, but you know what? There is something being said here. Open up your mouth. Speak up. Use your voice. Leave your house. Go into other spaces. Like, it's time to not. It's time, like the time is coming for you to have to use your voice. The time is. I love my nephews. The time is coming for you to have to use your voice. The time is coming for you to have to speak up. You won't have a choice. You won't have a choice. You are going to have to come out of your house. You are going to have to come out of your head. You are going to have to come out of isolation. You're going to have to come out of your specific plot of land. You're going to have to share. You're going to have to share your growth with others. You're going to have to share your ideas with others. There are knives, information being dropped on everybody's house, and you will not be able to stay silent. You will not be able to stay silent. You will have to speak your truth. You will have to speak your truth. And you will have to share. And you will have to share. Land, there is no such thing as my land versus your land. This is the earth. And we are all here on this planet. Share your food, share your land, share your truth, share your information. This is being given to us by our spirit guides, by our ancestors, by our people, by our community up there. Share it. It's not just meant for us. Don't hoard. Don't hoard. Now's not the time to hoard your light, hoard your special gifts, hoard your resources. Share. And if other people have their doors closed, that's fine. But say it out loud. And if people aren't listening, that's fine. But say it out loud. Don't keep this energy inside. One thing this energy will do is destroy you. This is powerful energy. This is revelations energy. I'm telling you, this shit it's giving biblical, it's giving apocalypse, it's giving like the end times so that we are rebirthing into a new age. It's giving judgment, it's giving the world. This is energy that you cannot keep inside. As it comes to you, you need to accept it and let it go. As you're receiving, give it out, okay? So that you can continue, so that you can just become a channel, and you just want to move through this energy. You don't need to take too long trying to understand it on your own and process it on your own. That doesn't matter. We can build upon information. If you receive one thing and then just share that, and then maybe you'll receive something else that you have to add on to that, and you'll add on to that, just like I'm doing right now. This is an add-on to that original video, and I'll probably create more. Ugh, my legs. But yeah, like, for real. I love this energy. I'm like a huge fan of this kind of energy, because I just know that it means fabulous things are coming. There's also a lot of partnerships coming in, and I want to switch to this deck because this is my magical deck. This is my gang like real energy deck. Like I can really get something with this, and this is also like gang but more magical. There's partnerships coming in, okay? Just know that there's power couples coming in. I am living for this energy. I love it. You like it? I love it. Is it raining? I don't think so. Anyways. Okay. Akasha. What else do you want to tell us? What else is she going to tell us? I feel like I might name one of my children Akasha. I like that name a lot. King of Pentacles. Jesus. King of Wands, the Moon, Queen of Wands, Three of Cups. Three of Cups, the Sun card. King of Wands has, but Three of Cups and the Sun card have been really, really relevant these past few days. Wheel of Fortune, the Fool, the Three of Swords. Oh my God. Sorry. Look at that. There's a change in destiny. Hold on. You guys, you just changed your fate. Someone just changed their fate. I changed my fate. You changed your fate. Okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. There has been a change in destiny, okay? There's been a change in fate. There has been a change in fate. Let me tell you why. Give me a minute. Let me tell you exactly why. You chose to, okay, this is where I'm telling you free will is spiritual. Free will it's your greatest tool and resource. But in order to activate your free will in a spiritual sense, it requires an incredible amount of self-trust, okay? An incredible amount. Because you have to be willing to go against spirit. And this is probably a test that the universe sets up for you to test where you are in your relationship with free will, because we are co-collaborators, okay? And there is such thing as building upon ideas, rejecting some things, and asking for something else. You can communicate with spirit, you can leverage, you can compromise, you can debate with spirit, and spirit wants that kind of engagement so that you can build together. Because spirit wants your input as an incarnating being. Spirit wants to know, what do you want, okay? There was a fate line that was destined to be for you, for your pathway, for the world's pathway. I don't know how big this goes. I'll speak about it for me personally. There was a fate line that I was confronted with these past 2 weeks that was destined to be. All the energy I was receiving from my spirit team was telling me this was destined. This was my fate. This was mine. And this was mine to take. This was mine to accept. This was also mine to reject if I wanted to. I wasn't really being told what was going to happen if I rejected it, but I got this eerie feeling, this scary feeling, even this sick feeling, like I would be losing out on something, like something would be coming to an end, like I would be missing something. It was very scary, but I didn't want this thing, and I knew that from the very beginning. But I was not just being told by like readers online. I was being told by my spirit team. I was being shown in dreams. I was being shown as I shuffled my cards for myself that this was a fate for me, that this was my thing that I had been asking for, but I didn't want it. And I was like, this can't be it, okay? So I chose to say no to it. And it took me a while. It took me 2 weeks. But I chose to say no. I chose to reject it. I chose to let it go. I wasn't exactly sure what would happen because of that choice. I just knew that I wanted more for myself. I think that by doing that, because it was being shown very clearly to me that this was something destined. That this was an energy that came, like that was meant. It was ancestral. It was my inheritance. It was delivered for me. But I rejected it, and that was me. And I wrote a letter speaking to spirit, and I was saying, I wrote out a letter. I typed out a letter, and I was like, gave all my reasons. I thought about myself and whether I was being toxic. I did all these things, and I was like, but no, I don't want this. And even after I checked in about that letter, and I was like, spirit, what's the energy of that letter? Like, how do you feel about that? And again, I was getting this energy of fear, and it making me feel like I was making a mistake. But still, I decided I don't want it. And so I didn't take it. I let it go. With love and gratitude and appreciation for it and what it could have been. But I let it go because I didn't want it. And the energy it was bringing into my life didn't make me feel good. I prioritized how I wanted to feel over what was meant to be, or what was destined, or what was fate. I took control of my story. I took control of my future and didn't allow my life to be written out by fate. And I really truly believe that these past 2 weeks I was confronted with something that was fated for me. But you always have a choice. You always have a decision. Don't let anyone make you think that you don't have a choice. You are not bound to do anything. One of the precious gifts of earth is consent. You have to consent. When you don't consent, that's a violation. That's a pure violation, and it doesn't count. You did not agree to that. Okay? You don't have to consent just because something feels fated. You don't have to take it. There is this energy that feels similar to what I've just gone through. where you were confronted with something that was fated, or you are going to be. Maybe in these next few years, people are going to be. Maybe our world is going to be confronted with something that is fated, like capitalism. Like the idea that capitalism is never going to end. The way people say that again and again and again and again, that's how fate is created. You're just like, but I think that there's going to be there's going to be a rejection. And that rejection and that trust and faith that you are allowed to say no, that you are allowed to say no. That's part of the spiritual path, saying no. It's not always about yes, yes, yes. It's not always about receiving. The feminine is also about rejecting. No, no. That's why, I won't get into that right now, but that is why abortions are important. Every woman has the right to an abortion. We have the right to say no. Okay? I don't have to give birth to anyone. I don't have to carry life for anyone. I make the decision. I was given a womb. I was given that power because I have the capacity to make that decision. Me and me alone. If you don't like it, take it up with spirit. Anyways, that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel about the goddesses. That's not a message from the Akashic. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Anyways, you chose to break your own heart. You chose to break this own line of fate and reject something that is meant for you, because you can see a different version of yourself that you want to be, and you don't want to be the version of yourself that is meant for this. So not only did you choose to break your own heart, you chose to cut a fate line, and by cutting that fate line, you also kind of chose to cut yourself, to end yourself, because like when you end fate, you end that entire pathway, you end that entire existence that is now gone. You chose to do that. That is incredibly powerful. You took a risk. You took a risk. Oh my God. And by doing that, it's ushering in something else. It's ushering in something else completely. That's a completely new energy. That's completely unexpected. I don't even know. But something is being offered to you because you chose to do that. Someone chose to take a risk. Someone else chose to break their own heart. Both people were exercising their free will and their power. And because of this, destiny is now forming. A new karmic line is forming. A new fate is forming. A new world is forming. Your life is changing because you chose to do this. And now, a new journey, a new beginning, a proposal, love, partnership, harmony, peace, a quest is coming in. Abundance is coming in because you chose to do this, because you choosing to do that cleared out your whole energy. It's like you're reborn. Okay. What else, Akasha? Ugh. Look at that. The 10 of Pentacles. And you guys, I've literally been talking about, is that the devil? That is the devil, the hanged man on one side, the hermit and the star. And at the bottom here, we have the 10 of Pentacles. I've been talking about these ancestors being ushered out. I've been talking about that these past few videos. This is a part of that energy. You choosing to let go of those ancestors means choosing to let go of what those ancestors would have inherited or would have brought for you to inherit. As those ancestors walk through the gate, they're like, this is something that you would have been inheriting. And if you had chosen to keep on to that, you might have chosen to keep those ancestors around. I think you made the right decision, because those ancestors are ancestors that are ready to go. Those are ancestors that are ready to go. And some of those are connected to deep pasts. Deep ancient pasts, like ancient Egypt. Deep, deep, deep pasts. of ancestors that are leaving. This is glorious energy. This is beautiful energy. You chose to make a sacrifice. You chose to play the other side, to ask for more, to ask for something else. You chose to give into an energy that otherwise you might have felt greedy for. You might have felt ashamed for. You might have felt wicked for. You chose to reject a certain inheritance and ask for something else. Ask for something new. And because you chose to do that, because you chose to exercise your power, your free will, and recognize that you deserve more, your gift is going to be granted. Your wish is going to be granted. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Look at that. Three of Wands, Page of Cups, the Lovers, the Nine of Wands. Okay, Akasha, how do you want to close out this reading? I'm like, girl, this is crazy. I'm excited. Ooh, look at that. Eight of Cups, Ace of Cups. Look at that. All this water energy. And this was triggered by me seeing the King of Cups go right next to the Queen of Cups unintentionally in this deck. Look, they're right next to each other. I didn't mean to do that. I just put it in there and it landed next to each other. And right above the King of Cups, Six of Pentacles, right behind the Queen of Cups, Six of Swords. Come on. You can't say it's not fate. Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? This feels like overnight transformation. This feels like overnight. And we know what night, the night is long. The night can mean many, many things. But this feels like destiny. This feels like 11:11, like 11:22. This feels like overnight transformation. From the Five of Cups, you put the sword down, you go to sleep. 10 of Cups. That's what this feels like. This feels incredibly magical, incredibly gifted, beautiful energy that is well deserved, well earned. It just feels like it's a matter of the night. As you lay your head down, the moment you're done grieving, and you don't even need to necessarily be done grieving, but when you allow yourself to rest and just, okay, breathe out and you go into the night, it's like that's when you see the brightest star you've ever seen before, and you know that that's exactly where you're meant to go. And the letting go isn't even a matter of, it's not something hard that you have to do where you have to work to let go. It's just a matter of going to sleep. It's that kind of simple energy, doing what your body calls you to do. Rest. That's something that you have to do. This is something you have now entered yourself into a world where what you desire, what you dream for is unavoidable. It has to reach you because it's a part of your functioning. It's a part of your body's function. It's the only way you can exist in this world. You have to have your dreams come true. It's the only way you can exist. It's the only way you can survive. We can't survive without sleep. You can go maybe 24, 48 hours without sleep. Then you're going to start to lose your fucking mind. Okay? You can't last that long without sleep. That's what this energy is like. You are now in the world. You are now in the reality where it's literally only a matter of time and a short period of time because you need this rest. You need this thing to come in order for you to function. Like, you can't function without it. And of course you're going to function. So your body's going to pull you to this. No choice. No fucking choice, okay? You've made it. You've brought yourself to a reality where there's no other option but for your dreams to come true. There's no other option. Y'all, give me a break. This is magical energy. This is magical energy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Akasha. Thank you, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, Spirit guides. Thank you, Mama Earth. It's in the plans. It's all coming together. Thank you. What do you want to say with this Two of Wands? Oh, 222 maybe could be a significant number, but what do you want to say with this Two of Wands? Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? Five of Wands and the Eight of Swords. Oh my God. What's this? This is a whole other message. Oh wow, we have the Mother Star reaching out with the Lovers. Is this a whole other message? Okay, give me a second. Is this a whole other message? Like, should I start a new video? I'm like, this feels like a whole other message. I was just damn near about to get out of here. There's something here, though. There is something here. Hold on a minute. Because I see some berries. And that makes me feel like there's something sweet here. What is this? This Eight of Swords and this Five of Wands is throwing me off. What is this? Oh, this might be the energy that you are going to meet your person in. You might meet your person in an energy of Eight of Swords and Five of Wands. Yeah, okay. I think that they're telling us exactly how you're about to meet your person. They're telling me. No, but seriously. Yeah. Okay, hold on a minute. I think that they're giving us actual information. Do I need to be recording right now? Give me a second. I need to clarify. Do I need to be recording right now? But recording does really help me. I don't know why. It's like speaking to an audience helps me channel more clearly for some reason. Anyways, you might be in an energy of Eight of Swords and Five of Wands when you meet your soulmate. And I feel like you're going to be cut from the same cloth. And I feel like the resistance, it's like when two magnets come together and they're like, because they're not supposed to be together, but you're meant to be together. And you're going to have to overcome this feeling of, wait, this is wrong. Wait, this doesn't make sense. What's happening? I feel like there's going to be, it's Five of Wands and Eight of Swords. What are you trying to say here, Akasha? What are you saying? The High Priestess. Follow your intuition. Okay, girl. I just feel like it's going to be like seeing one of your own kind and just being an absolute like what the hell? Like shock, flabbergasted, confused, anxious, like what is going on? You might have a really defensive energy. You might have a very defensive energy. And you might both have this energy, which could be a good signal to tell you that this is the one. You might both have an incredibly defensive energy when you first meet, when you first see each other. And it's probably because you've both been kept in the dark for so long. And so it's like when you get this mask taken off of you, you're looking around looking for something that looks like, that is like, oh my God, there it is. And it's probably just going to look exactly like you. And you're going to be like, what the fuck is this thing doing here? I feel like because you're going to be confronted with your own reflection. And I think that's going to be incredibly triggering, not because you have a problem with your reflection, but because at first it might literally be like, what am I doing here? I'm not looking for me. I'm looking for something else. And then it's going to be like, oh shit, that's me. Hold on. Hold on a minute. But there's also something wonderful here. Hold on. There's also something wonderful here. It's almost like you might connect over your you might first connect over your fire. Like, you might first connect over the way that you like rub up against each other. The friction might be your first connection. The conflict might be your first connection. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there's something sweet there. And I feel like it leads the two of you to want to explore that a little bit more. So you might not jump right into like lover's energy. You might wade in the 5 of Wands a little bit because there's something interesting to you there. There's something intriguing about that energy and getting to see, I don't know, I think there's like this energy of just wanting to admire each other and look at each other and not necessarily blend into one just instantly. There's this idea of really enjoying getting to see the individual energy, who this person is on their own, and getting to see yourself within that. But there's like this admiration energy that comes through getting to be somebody's challenger and getting to work with them. Like, you might be on opposing teams, something like that, and so but you end up working really closely together because you're in competition, and that gets you the chance to really get to know each other from a perspective of admiration because you're both giving it your all and you're both fighting for something. You both want to win. There's just, I don't know, there's just this energy, and in that energy there's such a beauty. There's such a beauty. 10 of Pentacles again. I just think you make a great team, but I think that at first you're not going to be on the same team. You're going to be adversaries, but I don't think you're actually going to be adversaries. Like, you might be adversaries to the public, but you two both recognize that you are the same. Others might tell you that you're very different, but you are both going to know that you are the same. And it's going to be so obvious. And so there might be this expectation for you to fight. There might be this expectation for you to debate, for you to be defensive, but you're just going to I almost feel like you're going to fall into love, fall into admiration, and appreciation very, very quickly. Because you recognize your connection, and there's this admiration for the different forms you take on, and the way that your shared spirit expresses themselves so creatively. Like, it just feels like you both are so different, but then you're so alike. Like people from 2 different cultures that are just the exact same. And it's like, how can we come from 2 different worlds and be twins? This is very beautiful energy. It's also very inner child loving, inner child friendly. Like, this might be a time for your inner child to really come out and come to life. It's just a union here. Wow. And it might be like that. Remember how I started off this part where I was confused and I was like, oh, you're going to fight. Oh, you might be like, what the hell? Like, there might be like a bit of conflicting energy right at the beginning. But if you just let it sit for a little bit and not fight it and just try to see what's going on, don't let yourself get too worked up about this energy. You just acknowledge it and look at it and exist in it. Then it starts to open up. And then it's revealed to you so clearly what's happening. It's not going to take very long. It could really take like 5 minutes. 10 of Swords. Yeah, it's like an immediate opening, an immediate awakening as soon as you let it all hit you. Because it might come in like a tidal wave, to be honest. It might come in and it might shock you and throw you off your feet and send you into a spiral emotionally and mentally. And you could mentally be trying to like logic your way into this or out of this. and figure it out. And you might both be doing that, which creates a lot of fire. But then it's like, I think that happens really fast. And I think that the minute you guys like dig yourselves into this whole trying to figure each other out, it happens so fast, that ends, and then it like there's something that just cracks wide open. The beginning might be a bit tumultuous. It's not bad though. Like I told you, there's no way to mess this up. All these feelings that you're having, you probably should have. Yeah, there's no way to mess this up. This is coming. This is coming. Okay. Is that it, Spirit? All these questions, you might be so confused. You might be like, what am I doing? What's happening? What's happening? Like demanding an answer, demanding. But I think you're just going to have to accept it as it comes. Anyways, what a cryptic way to end. Of course, this is the way that the reading ends. We'll just have to accept it as it comes. Like, not at all with any sense of finality. But you know what? With that moon energy, I want to say that this is energy that could be manifesting under the full moon. This is energy that could come to light under the full moon. Oh my God. You might meet this person at dinner tonight. This is energy that could be manifesting under the full moon, okay? Oh my God. I'm so excited. I'm like actually so excited. Oh my God, you guys. Okay, bye. Mind your business. I'm so excited for everybody that this energy applies to, and for everybody beyond that, because this is, I'm a part of the collective, you're a part of the collective. We share our world, we share our energy, and I'm more than happy to share this energy with you guys. Revel in it with me. We all deserve this. We all can have this, and I'm really, really excited. So take what you need, take what you can get, and make something out of it. Make something out of your life. Be bold, be brave, be adventurous. Listen to your spirit. Listen to your heart. Listen to your soul. And trust yourself. Trust the universe. Believe in yourself. Believe in the guidance. It's building towards something. It means something. Hold your vision, the original vision, the one you've always had for yourself. Hold that vision. That inner child knew something. You knew something as a kid. Remember that you knew. Hold that vision. Okay? Love you guys. Bye.